Hey guys, welcome back to Tracy's Local Learnings. I wanted to give you a garden update. It's definitely not done, but it's getting there. We've given the lawn a couple of cuts. It still needs a couple more. And because it's been raining here in the last week, everything is growing and popping off like crazy again. Oh, look at that beauty. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all this. So that's plantain. I have it growing abundantly throughout my property, and I will be doing a video on that and its benefits and uses. So yeah, I really like this brick planter. I'm going to keep collecting these red bricks, and I'm going to make it taller and thicker. And I think on the one side over here, I'm going to create a bit of a seating area right here. So we'll see. So all my medicinals are coming back nicely. I've got my comfrey there, my sage, my roses are coming back. Lots going on there, lots of dock. My bee balm, so last year it was in the ground first time. It's doing great. It loves the planter. I got stinging nettle popping off everywhere. So it really likes this location where I planted it. It is just growing like crazy. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Such a healthy medicinal. Anyway, so yeah, I like how this looks. And a friend of mine came by my property and took some pictures of this and did a little bit of research, finding out that this is a 1952 or 1925, one or the other. It's a stump puller. So that's what this magnificent beast was in its lifetime. And it's got a great place for retirement, surrounded with lots of pretty moss. Doesn't that look great on there? And lots of beautiful medicinals. So I put my fireplace back over here. I like how it's open over here. Where over there you've got these massive trees, and I wasn't really happy with that idea. So my garden bed, one of them, is kind of done. It still doesn't look much better. Like I said, it's been raining for a couple days, so when I showed my original gardening episode, this is my St. John's wort, and it was at the very end of my planter here. So I've extended my planter. I separated out my black-eyed Susan, and I put some down here. I've got chamomile coming up everywhere, so I put some down here. And then I put some borage in there. It's just starting. My oregano is doing amazing, and I need to cut it back. And the rhubarb that's growing in there is quite happy. So I think I'm going to leave them in harmony to grow. I'll be digging up all these maples and raspberries that pop up. So my huckleberry is doing great. So originally when I got this huckleberry, I had got 3 of them, and I planted them down here. One of them died like instantly because I didn't think about what I was doing. So I planted them down here on the edge of this field, and they're not meant to get direct sunlight. They grow in the woods underneath the trees, and so I moved one of the other ones that lived to a better location, and it's doing great. And I left this one here because I'd like to see if I can get it to kind of live over here. I mean, it's doing great. It looks healthy. It's got a lot of new shoots coming. What I've done is I've put this pallet here to create a little bit of shade for it. I planted some yarrow there on the corner to extend that shade. And then last year here I had a bunch of mullein that popped up, and this year I didn't get any, so I planted some fireweed, some chamomile, some more borage, which will be great here so I can tie them up to the pallet and get a nice tall color flower display. My mints are going crazy. I pulled out handfuls and handfuls of this chocolate mint, but I use a ton of it throughout the entire year, and I like to have a lot for overwintering. My mints as well are doing great. Again, I just pull out the excess and try to kind of contain them as best I can. This is my goldenrod, another wonderful medicinal that I will be doing a video on. It's doing great as well. My comfrey looks like it's multiplying here, which is wonderful. Now, periwinkle. Periwinkle is another invasive medicinal. And what I do in the spring is I come down here and I'll dig out with my hand all the lower roots all along this side of the garden. So I don't mind if they shoot out that way, but I don't want them to choke out like my goldenrod or my comfrey. So like I said, every year I come along and I dig out all the lower roots here and I redirect them back that way. It's a very hardy plant and it can handle a little getting pushed around. Okay, so more mints and you'll see how massive big these get. And then my yarrow, I need to snip off a couple branches that have kind of fallen over from the whole weeding process. And I've got some mullein. So I only got a few mulleins so far that I can see come back this year. I have the 2 here and I have 1 over there. I also have 1 growing in another location, so I'm sure I'll see a few more of these beauties pop up, as I do like to have an abundance of them. They're great for our respiratory system. And then the blueberry over there I planted, this will be year 2 for it. It's doing great. And as always, my lemon balm is doing great. I really need to get out here and harvest some of these so they bush out nicely. Okay, so you guys remember this big clump of a hill that just looked like a big, massive mess? Well, it probably still looks that way to you guys, but look at that. Doesn't that look pretty? So as everything grows, these are just a couple pots sitting here getting wet, so they're not part of it. As everything grows, this whole hill turns into, it looks like a big flower bouquet. So I'll start you kind of down here. This right here is a large leaf Evans. It's a very welcome medicinal in my garden that just randomly comes to me. I planted some hostas throughout here just to kind of fill in some space and to add some nice contrast and color. I put another yarrow down here, which is always good. It attracts these little pesky bugs and it keeps them off the other plants, and it doesn't really affect the yarrow, so I'm grateful for them. I have hang on here, oops, no, I didn't want to do that. There we go. I have 101 of these little cedar seedlings everywhere through here that I have to up pot, and I like to give them as gifts to people or put them out when I have my plant sales. My lupin looks amazing, one of them. I like it over here. It looks good. I like the height of it. It'll look really pretty here when this whole thing starts to bloom. I have some more large leaf Evans. Here, I believe this is a crab apple that I planted. There's a walnut, thanks to the little squirrely guys in the air. And then here I have Solomon Seal. This is a new one to my garden, as I did some trading for medicinals with another friend of mine. So she brought me a couple of these groupings of the Solomon Seal that I'm very, very grateful to have on my property. I've got some fungus coming there, not sure what it is yet, but I figured I'd put it in there because why not? And then, like I said here, these are all these cedar seedlings. You see them all? And if I don't up pot them, they'll just perish because they're too close together. And I have some more borage under there that's coming nicely. And that's about it. I'm not going to show you my main garden because I really haven't got too far on it. I've been feeling kind of under the weather. And I also took some time off to do a pressure canning chicken wings video. So this is as good as it gets. Here, let me move this. This is one of my favorite areas on the property because when it's all blooming together between the stump puller, planter, the lower gardens, and this one, it's a beautiful place to sit, listen to the birds, and I have these wonderful wind chimes that I've had for years and years. And when the wind gently blows, it's a very, very nice place to sit and relax. So I will bring you the rest of my garden reveals when I'm a little bit closer to being done. And I appreciate you coming by my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. And consider subscribing if you would like to see more as my gardens come to life and I finish more of my property. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.